Good morning and welcome to Good Company today. It is Tuesday, August 17th, and as I always say, another beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio.
Gorgeous. What a good day to get out for a walk or a run, maybe do a little shopping. I was doing that yesterday. You know, I think I'm going to be on the hunt for a new couch. My first big purchase when I got a job was to get a new couch, and it's, well, my voice is going right now. Excuse me, it's live television. But it's now about 10 years old, and I think it's time for something new.
For a new couch.
But they're expensive.
They're not cheap.
So I started to think about you, that you just bought a new house and you have to furnish the whole place. Are you starting to feel poor?
Starting. I felt poor before, during, and now after. It does a lot to your psyche, yeah. I mean, you do buy a house no matter what size. You take pride in your home, so you actually want to furnish it with some nice things. And
you're thinking about the outside, too, so you want to get the flowers and the landscaping in, which is expensive also.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably are so excited about your new house that you want to furnish every single room.
And we couldn't do that. Luckily, I had a lot of junk from my place downtown, so for right now, you know, you have to be smart with your money, and you have to use some of the things that you've had in the past to furnish the home. You know, and on top of that, at least in my situation, there was a wedding involved also, so
you really
my pockets are empty.
Well, it's good timing then that we have our first guest who's going to be coming.
I can't wait to talk to him because I need some advice.
The book is called How Rich People Think. Do you think like a millionaire? Steve Siebold was a professional tennis player. And now he, this morning, is going to tell us and all of you how to get rich, or how to think like a rich person anyway. Steve, hi, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
I think we both need advice, especially this one here.
House
wedding.
Trying to get all these, like, wait a minute, I need to take some notes.
Well, how rich were the rich people that you were hanging around? I mean,
some of them were, well, they were all multimillionaires, and some of them were billionaires. And I continued this day. It's been 26 years of interviews, and they continue today.
What is the common theme among billionaires and multimillionaires?
I think it's that they look at money through the eyes of abundance, without fear. So in other words, they decide how much they want or what they want to get, and they write it down, and they think about it, and they go out and make it happen. They're very decisive, they know what they want, and they don't look at it through the eyes of fear, they look at it through the eyes of opportunity. So, completely different than the masses, basically.
Well, there's the masses. There's basically two classes, you know, the wealthy and the not wealthy. With these troubled economic times, how are the two classes thinking? Because, well, are the rich still thinking that they could just write stuff down and get it?
Well, I think they've taken big hits, obviously, you know, like everyone has. But what they're looking at now is what are the new opportunities? Because really, all wealth is built on solving problems, as we all know. So there are more problems now than there ever have been. So there's more opportunity to make wealth. More money will be made, I believe, in the next 5 years by the rich than has been made in the last 20 years.
There are a lot of really hardworking people who give everything they can to their jobs, but they're just not making a lot of money. And they maybe are never going to be rich. So what's your advice to those people who are sitting around going, I'm working really hard, and I keep coming up with ideas, and I feel like I'm just keep like hitting that glass ceiling. I can't move forward in my job. I can't make more than, you know, I haven't seen an increase in my salary. If anything, maybe I've seen a decrease over the past few years.
I would say keep coming up with ideas. That's what the wealthy do. That's what they've taught me for 26 years. Just keep thinking of ideas. Most of them are going to be bad. Most of them will fail. Most of them won't make money. But you only need one good one.
Do the really rich people find themselves poor at some point, or never?
Usually they've either been poor or they've made it and they've lost it, and then they've made it back again, which typically makes them stronger.
Well, Steve, you say, you know, you think that a lot of people can be rich as long as you can think rich. Now, if you weren't in the circles that you were in, like if you weren't a professional tennis player and met all these rich people, how do you tell someone who's poor and can't get into those inner circles think like a rich person? Like, if you didn't have that opportunity, you would have never been in that inner circle. How do you explain that?
I wasn't that good of a tennis player to get in that inner circle. I wish I could say I was, but I really wasn't. I really got lucky, and I broke in with one interview, and they all seemed to know each other, so I moved to their towns. I went from Palm Beach to Aspen to Scottsdale to you name it, and I started running in their circles as an outsider and interviewing them. And once you get inside the circle of the rich, it's very easy to understand why they're so wealthy. They think completely differently.
How much does luck have to do with having a lot of money?
I think luck plays a part in everything. I'm not sure about that. I have no evidence to back it up, but I think getting a little lucky doesn't hurt. But these people are really focused on what they want. They're focused on what they want. They focus on it. They think about in terms of abundance when it comes to money, and they're not afraid to take chances.
So do you think anybody can become rich as long as they think? I mean, do you realistically, can you sit here and say anybody can become rich if they just think rich?
I believe, not just from thinking, but I think anyone can become rich if they solve problems. You've got to solve problems. You've got to look for ideas that solve problems, that create solutions for a lot of people, and the world will gladly make you as wealthy as you want to be. It's the premise of all wealth.
What are some of the best stories that you heard along the way of people you met?
I think the losing of the money. The stories, it's great to, you're on some guy's yacht, it's a 150-foot yacht, you're thinking, I couldn't even afford the gas on this sucker, And then they talk about how they lost it all, and they were a millionaire, and they lost it all, and they came back again and made it back, and how much stronger they get as a result of the loss. They fail just like we do. That was the greatest thing I learned.
Can you talk about specific people who you met and who you talked to, people that we would know?
I've actually done that before and been scolded in the inner circle, so I don't do that, and I don't write about it anymore. They're very private. This is a very closed circle of people.
All right.
Are they usually famous people?
I can give you one example. Sam Wiley was someone I interviewed not too long ago. He's a so you would know him maybe, but he's one of the richest people in America and in the world. And he's a gentleman I interviewed out in Aspen. He's an example of someone I can use his name, but very few of them.
What's the example with Sam then?
Well, it's basically the same thing. These people really work at leveraging everything they have. Their contacts, their credibility, their knowledge, their education, you name it, they leverage it. They don't work hard, they work smart. They think their way to wealth, and then they take action.
How can you tell someone who just lost their job, a lot of people in Northeast Ohio are in that situation, how will your book help them become rich?
I would say probably stop thinking like the middle class, like the masses in terms of getting a job. If you want a job, approach it like a rich person would approach it. A rich person would not apply for a job in an economy with no jobs. They would probably go to a company, smaller mid-sized company, and say, you know what, I can make your cash register ring. Don't pay me for 2 weeks, put me on a trial. I'll sell more of your highest margin product than anyone ever has. Give me 2 weeks to give it a chance. If I make it, you hire me. If not, I walk away, it costs you nothing. That's how a rich person would go get a job, and they'd have a job in a couple days.
Okay, well, the book is called How Rich People Think. Steve Siebold, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm still poor.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Dr. Joe Ross, who's going to talk about what happens when you become complacent in your relationship.
And Nighttown is back in the Good Company kitchen, cooking up a delicious trout almondine.